Hey, and welcome back to the channel. If you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about bivvy sacks, but we're not just going to be like, hey, this is the best one, or do this. I'm actually going to show you, like, the real bivvy sacks, like what they're supposed to look like, how well they work, and kind of give you some hints and tips to make sure that you don't waste any money. Now, this video has actually been inspired by one of my followers. If you didn't know this, I actually have a mailing list. Sometimes it's to remind you that I've made a video because YouTube is blowing you off, or maybe it's because I'm trying to notify you of some kind of something I found out there that might interest you. In this particular letter that I put out, I think it was yesterday, I was talking about some of the stuff that might be happening here in the future. But at the end of every one of my emails, I always say, do me a favor, let me know what you are doing in your preparedness. If you've tested gear, whatever it may be. One of my followers has got back to me, and I want to share his story with you real quick here. Don't run away. This is actually pretty inspirational. You know who you are. I've already told you you've inspired me to make this video because there are a lot of bivvy sacks out there that are very problematic for people who want to live. Okay, so let me just read this to you real quick. He's like, I almost gifted some of my silver coin to my grandkids, but with the rising worth, they got copper rounds instead. That makes sense. Some of my family has started listening and a little more closely to me about prepping and will be getting more involved. This is always positive. As far as new subjects, I think newer preppers in the community would benefit from seeing the differences in quality of certain items. One that I found for myself was when testing some of my gear, Chinese-made emergency bivvy bags are no good. I ordered some from Temu. I really didn't expect super quality, and they were complete garbage. Not really much better than a garbage bag. I'm really glad I tested mine before having friends or family order from there. I would rather find it in. Find it as garbage before I had to put my life in it. Basically, needless to say, I will keep testing until I find a quality piece before suggesting any or depending on some of my stuff. Thank you for doing what you do, and have a great day. And you, my friend, have a great day as well. Now, I have some experience with bivvy sacks. I have several that I use, and it's important to know the differences in certain ones. And the simple rule in bivvy sacks is you get what you pay for. It's that easy. Emergency bivvy sacks, you get what you pay for. We're going to go to the table right now. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. First things first, this has not been, nor will it ever be, an emergency bivvy sack. You could use this for a lot of different things, but the bottom line is it's simply vinyl shaped to do something, okay? So let's not even look at that, all right? The next thing is you'll start seeing bivvy sacks that look like this. Now, this one is actually not that bad, but this one is actually made into an emergency tent tube, but this is still reasonable quality. I think that this company found that it was more expensive than they thought to produce this product. This is a solid product for whatever it is. This is actually a high quality vinyl product that has insulation inside of it. And we're going to talk about the insulation just a little bit. It's not really insulation, it's more of a reflective. So you can see this vinyl is, well, it may not even be vinyl. To be honest with you, it's probably more of a form of plastic, but it does have a reflective interior that you guys can see clear as day. I don't want to really unroll this. They're a pain in the butt. I have several of these. I've used these one time for another video. It actually comes with its own lines because it is a tube tent. But you can easily wrap up inside of this thing or make a shelter with it, which makes it kind of interesting. What we need to do is we need to get to the meat and potatoes of the situation. A proper bivvy sack, this one right here is actually made by Pathfinder. I honestly, you can still buy these, but you can't buy them on their website, and you cannot buy them on Amazon. So I'll find you a link to this bivvy right here, if this one does what you want. I made a video about this bivvy a couple years ago. You may be watching it on the screen right now while I unwrap this. And this was an exceptional find. Like I said, I'll get links for all this stuff here. But the key thing that you need to know about these kinds of bivvies, these higher quality bivvies, is that they actually have some kind of construction. For instance, you're seeing this one has a zipper that goes almost all the way down. It is a aluminized or metallized fabric, but oh, by the way, it's actually a special fabric. It actually has a drawstring for being around your neck. And this one is like probably 80 inches long. So this is a really good bivvy. Now, there are better bivvies out there, and we're going to talk about that, but this is a pretty good bivvy. Now, here's the key thing you have to think about when you think about bivvies, guys. I told you before, you get what you pay for. Now, if you're going to do like something like super duper, you're going to get like an Arcturus tarp, which is actually what I got for Christmas, one of those bad boys right there. That's going to be a tarp that you can wrap yourself in, but it's not a true bivvy sack. Bivvy sacks you can actually get in like sleeping bags. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're doing your shopping. But the interesting thing about bivvy sacks is any one of them where I guess the juice is worth the squeeze, you're going to have this material. Okay, and each company has their own proprietary material. Now, we're going to be talking about SOL's products here shortly because I don't own an SOL. Actually have one on order right now. It's a late Christmas gift. But most are close to SOL's proprietary breathable fabric known as escape material, sometimes known as escape thermal shell. You know, in basically the standard bivvy line. Now, this is a specialized spun, bonded, olefin fabric with a metallized aluminum coating on the interior side for heat reflection, normally rated at about 70% body heat. Now, this material is designed to be lightweight, very highly breathable, so you're not wrapping yourself in plastic. And this is going to reduce condensation, allowing moisture vapor to escape. Shut up, phone. Water resistant, not waterproof, but it is windproof. It's abrasion resistant, it's tear resistant, it's quieter than traditional Mylar emergency bivvies. And unlike basic Mylar or polyethylene, like we were showing you guys right here, polyethylene emergency bivvies, you know, basically like a sole emergency bivvy, which I'll show you here in a second. This fabric is not fully waterproof, but highly water resistant, and it's often described as feeling similar to washed Tyvek in texture. It's soft, it's durable, it's non-crinkly. You can hear it's not making lots of noise like if I was wrapped in cellophane. But it makes the construction of the bivvy more suitable for repeated or extended use compared to single-use reflective Mylar options, while keeping it ultra light. I think this one comes in at 5.5 ounces. It's super light. Okay? So what we need to do now is take a look at the available bivvies on the market, and hopefully I'll be able to point you in the right direction. Okay, guys, I'm going to get right into it. This is the most expensive one that you can buy on the market right now. There are some that are more expensive, but they're not readily accessible to the public through the Amazon services that we love so much. This one is very similar to the last one that I showed you, and it is made of their proprietary material that is softer. It's not crinkly. It's not going to be polyester or poly whatevers. This is going to be the biggest bang for the buck. And when you're talking about saving someone's life or giving it to your family, this is really the one that I would put my money on. Not a joke. This one is rectangular, but like I was saying before, you just look at it. So it actually has a hood that is cinchable. It has a zipper. It's 84 by 31. If you do the centimeter thing, good for you. It generally has a very specific look to it, and
I think that it really comes down to reusability, because in an emergency, do you really want to, do $30 a pop on everybody and then give it to a kid, and the kid's going to be all over the place and ripping up the material. So I really do think that this is your very first choice. Moving on to the second one, this is the same company. These guys are pretty much the industry standard for survival bivvies. This is the Sol 90% reflective lightweight emergency bivvy. It's made out of that polyethylene, and that is why it's 90% reflective. But I would not recommend this for younger or for children, because there is the danger of a choking hazard. But on top of that, adults know, like, hey, I'm getting hot. Maybe it's time to get out of this thing. This thing is going to maintain your body heat. And it's it's just basically wrap yourself in cellophane and you'll know what I'm talking about. But it does have, let's see, let's take another look. I wanted to show you a picture. It is smaller because of the material that it's made out of. And that's generally what it would look like if you were inside of it. This is very similar to the green one that I had popped out for you during the middle of this video. I would say that it's probably made by the same company, to be honest with you. And obviously this one is rectangular. It does not have a hoodie on it. So this would be my second choice, but this thing's going to run you about 30 bucks. So just FYI. Okay, so my last choice is going to be the Survival Frog Tactical Bivvy 2.0. This is a smaller bivvy. I would say this is probably the size of the green one that I showed you. If you notice oh, look, it looks very similar. Doesn't it look very similar to the last one I just showed you? Gee, I wonder why. A lot of these companies they all get their products from the same company who makes these things. And it's basically an ultralight compact sleeping bag. It's going to run you around 25 bucks. So, I mean, by going off brand, you're kind of saving about anywhere from $5 to $7. Okay, I hope that helps you guys out. And you know the deal. Hit that thumbs up on the way out the door. And as usual,
that was easy.